Good morning, everybody. Pam here with your Monday morning motivation. I hope you all had an awesome weekend. We were really busy around here. We got a bunch of stuff done. Got some bales sold. Got the chickens butchered yesterday. So we have some fresh meat in the freezer. It feels good going into winter to have some fresh meat in the freezer. We did 24 chickens yesterday, and then we parted them all out. So we broke them down to chicken breasts and thighs and drumsticks and wings and all that fun stuff, and then packaged them together. I vacuum sealed them all together, so that was probably the most tedious part. Good morning, Patty. Thanks for tuning in live, lady. So we parted out all the chickens, and I was the one catching the chickens, and then my father-in-law was the one to decommission them, and then I got to run the plucker. We have if you caught my go live yesterday, you would have seen we have this big industrial size plucker. So you scald them for, 15, 20 seconds or something like that, and then you throw them in this plucker, and it just takes pretty much everything right off. So it's pretty effective and reduces our time out here to a few hours as opposed to being out here all day. So it's pretty good to have that. And and then I brought everything inside and got everything, broke them all down, got them all vacuum sealed, and now they're in the freezer. I'm so excited. So we have that, and the pig went to the butcher a few weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago. So he's gone, and so we'll have some fresh meat from that. And then my husband got his moose tag. So when he goes hunting here at the end of the month, hopefully he gets a moose. And so we'll have some moose meat too. We'll be all set for winter. I'm so excited to have that. I did not garden hardly anything this year. Our garden just got consumed by weeds. I didn't even plant anything. Last year I planted a bunch of stuff, and then I wasn't consistently weeding everything. I would do it for I go good for a few days, and then I would get busy and something, would happen, and I would I'd leave it for a week, and then it would get back, and it was just so overwhelming. So that's kind of where this came from, was the consistency thing, my topic for today. But I do have some tomato plants in my greenhouse, so I've got that happening. I had 5 or something that were ripe the other day, where they were this big little tomato, so I just pop them off the tree or off the plant and just eat them, because I think those ones are the most delicious. They're jam-packed with flavor. They're so good, fresh right off the plant. And of course I don't use any chemical or anything to spray them to deter weeds or bugs or anything like that. So they are freshly organic. I think they're about as organic as you can get, because we use dirt from our manure piles that has been sitting there for a few years for my greenhouse. They're raised boxes. I have a tiny little greenhouse. I need to get a bigger greenhouse because everything around here takes so long to grow. Anyway, so on that topic, I was going to talk about the power of consistency today. Excuse me, I just need a little sip of coffee. Cheers to Monday. Yay! The power of consistency, and this is talked about all the time within our community and our businesses, was that consistency beats out intensity any day of the week. So it's kind of like going to the gym. If you only went, one day a week for 8 hours, you're probably not going to see the level of growth in your health that you want to see. But if you do it little bits every day, then you'll probably see the growth that you want to see. You want to, get stronger. You want to lose fat. You want to gain muscle mass, stuff like that. That's where the consistency comes in. Same thing with personal development. If you're reading a little bit of a book every day, or, taking courses here and there, stuff like that, that is where consistency pays off, as you're doing little bits every day, and accumulates to so much more than just ramming a whole book down your throat in one day. how much did you retain? Honestly, I don't, even when I read a little bit every day, I still need to kind of take notes, or I like to underline or highlight stuff in the book that I'm reading. That's why I like to have like my physical book, and I like to buy my books. So I have them on the shelf, and I flip through them over and over again, because that's just me, because I will read a book 5 times and take something different away from it each time. That's just the person I am. And I'm pretty sure most people are the same way, because sometimes you're distracted on some part of the book that you read, and then you read it again, you're not distracted for that part, and you get it. So consistency beats intensity any day of the week. So that applies to pretty much anything in life. Parenting. My kids are inside with my husband, I like to spend time with him every day, and so does he, but sometimes he doesn't get that. So sometimes he has to spend a little bit more time on his days off. But we are fixing that. I'm planning on getting him out of the oil field, or him and I are planning on getting him out of the oil field so he can spend more time with our kids and our family and our farm. And that's just the way it is. I also, one fun thing before I get into the power of consistency, I started again the challenge, the 75 hard challenge by Andy Frisella. If you don't know Andy Frisella or the MFCEO project, good morning, Tennis. Thank you for tuning in live, girl. If you don't know MFCEO project podcast, I highly recommend it. It's a really good podcast. He's not gonna dance around the subjects or mince words. He is a straight to the point, no BS kind of guy. So be prepared for some swearing. I don't listen to him when I have the kids in the truck, because he does swear quite a bit. He likes to drop his F-bombs. And my 2-year-old is a parrot, so she will say it too. Yay. But so I can't remember which podcast exactly it is, like 200 and some. He goes over what he's doing for this challenge called the 75 hard. And I've been calling it my 75 easy, just to get my brain around it a little bit better. But it's a couple things you have to do every day. So talking about consistency, you have to do 2 45-minute workouts. So one can be inside, but one has to be outside. You have to drink 4 liters of water, which I do most days anyway, so I'm not too concerned about that part. You have to read at least 10 pages of some sort of self-development business book, something that is constructive, not like Danielle Steele. No offense if you like her. I used to read her all the time. Nothing like that. If you like smut books, sorry, you have to change your genre for a little while. I'm actually currently reading the 5 a.m. Club, which is a really good book, so I recommend that one for sure. But I'm only on I'm on chapter 5 or something, so still getting into it. But and then what else do you have to do? You have to take a progress picture every day. There's one more thing that I think you have to do. I can't remember. Hi. She's looking at me through the window. Anyway, so Google it, look up his podcast on whatever podcast app you have. Andy Frisella, MFCEO, 75 hard. You can even probably search it on Instagram, hashtag 75 hard, and lots of his stuff will probably come up. But anyway, today's day 1 for me. I tried it a couple weeks ago. I started it. I got like 2 days in, and I tanked hard. It's not easy. They call it 75 hard for a reason. So you have to, this time I'm preparing myself for success. I've got my list written out, and I've got all 75 days written out, and I've got a checklist, each thing I have to write out. Clean eating. That's what you have to do. Like clean eating. So no refined sugars, no alcohol, like good eating. I've been doing intermittent fasting for most of the summer, so I'm going to incorporate that as well, because I do really well on intermittent fasting. So yeah, I've got my checklist. I have my days written out on my calendar from 1 to 75. So my last day of this challenge will be at the end of November. So wish me luck. Don't wish me luck. Say you can do it, because I know I can do it. I'm rooting for myself, and I'm rooting for, but I'm part of a accountability group. So a bunch of us are doing it. There's some people that are on like day 19, day 20, some people just starting out like me. So, it's going to be a lot of fun. Anyway, the power of consistency. I've got 5. Thanks, Tennis. Thanks, girl. I love your encouragement. The power of consistency. So the first way that consistency, the power of consistency, it allows for measurement. So if you're doing something consistently for about, I'd say at least a minimum of 6 months, you will see results, or you will see where you need to make tweaks along the way. Whether it's small failures within your system, and then you take those and you make them into, they're not failures, they're learning curves, they're learning processes, right? And you make the small tweaks that need to be made. And this allows for the measurement. So if you're doing it for at least a minimum of 6 months, then you will start to see either results or where you need to improve or make little tweaks along the way, right? Number 2, creates accountability. So consistency, like me doing this go live every Monday, is creates accountability with you guys, my followers, my peers. So consistent check-ins when working towards a goal push it along to a successful end. So this is where accountability group, a mentor comes in, and they're consistently checking in with you, or you're consistently checking in with them. That's what matters, right? Consistently being accountable for your actions, your proceeding to the end game, your goals, whatever it is. Number 3, consistently establishes a reputation. So for me, being consistent on my fan page, on my Instagram, I'm not as consistent on my LinkedIn. I apologize. But I forget about it. I just started a group on Facebook. So if you want into that, because it kind of allows for more of a community instead of like me talking at you, you can kind of, post in there, talk back, share your struggles, share your wins. I would love all that stuff. So if you want to be part of my new Facebook group that I just started last week, definitely mention that you'd like in, or send me a message or something, and I will add you to my group. So reputation, growth requires a track record. So you have to start somewhere in order to progress. It won't happen if you're consistently shifting gears or trying new tactics. You have to be consistent with the same thing. Like I said, for a minimum of at least 6 months, whether it's your business, whether it's your health goals, whether it's family goals, anything, hobbies, anything. You have to be consistent with something for a certain amount of time, and not just going for the next shiny object every 5 minutes. You have to just stay the course, because that's what matters. And sometimes it may seem mundane and like you're not getting anywhere, but believe me, you are getting somewhere. You just have to stick with it. Number 4, consistency makes you relevant. It gives people a predictable flow of information. So me doing this go live every Monday, you can count on me being here and giving you value, whether it's about consistency or about anything about business, health, anything like that. Like anything that I'm dealing with, I'm going to talk about, and if I'm dealing with it, I'm pretty sure most other people are going to be dealing with it too. So don't end a campaign or initiative before it gains traction. Don't just start something like a weekly go live like this and then do it for a couple weeks and be like, oh, well, nobody's watching. Why would I do it? Because eventually people will watch. It may seem like nobody's paying attention, but over 6 months, 8 months, 9 months, a year, you'll be surprised what kind of relevancy and traction that you can gain with an audience or your health or anything like that. This pertains to pretty much anything. And number 5, it maintains your message. So people that look up to you, follow you, they pay attention to your actions more than what you say. So me being here says more. Me being here for the last, I don't know, I counted how many go lives I have on my YouTube page because I put them all on there. And I have 20 some go lives. So the last 20 some weeks, I've been consistently on here giving you guys value. And that speaks more than what I'm actually saying on these go lives. Let that rest for a minute. Leadership consistency serves as a model for how they will behave. So how you model yourself and your leadership style the people that follow you, the people that look up to you will also model their behavior in the same way because you're consistent with it. So that's the 5 ways that consistency is powerful, because it is powerful. It may not seem like you're not getting anywhere at some point in it. Like if you've been, days and days and days into a new exercise program, into a new course that you're learning, into anything, but it pays off eventually. Like, I made a goal for last week that I would finish our level 1 curriculum inside our digital marketing educational program. And I'm so close. The assignment for the very last course, Finance 101, is a little bit more involved than I expected it to be. So I'm committing to it full on, and I'm going through and making sure it's all about numbers, right? Like finance is all about numbers and tracking your money and being accountable for your money and being consistent with your money. So I'm going through and I'm tracking everything. Every dollar that we've spent has to be on there, and it has to be aligned for, like, whether it's to my personal development, whether it's to groceries, whether it's to our mortgage, whether it's to if we ate out that month. I'm surprised on how much, like, I don't work in town anymore, so I cook a lot more than I used to. When I worked in town, I used to just bring food home because it was easier and I didn't want to cook. But now that I'm a stay-at-home mom, that I have my online business at home, I'm at home a lot more. I only go to town like once or twice a week, and it still adds up. Like being in town once or twice a week still adds up to quite a bit of money spent on eating out, whether we're at a restaurant or go through a drive-through or whatever. And I'm trying to eliminate that, but it's hard when you have kids. So it's been a work in progress, but I'm consistently getting better because I tracked over 3 months, and I consistently spent less I did June, July, August, and I consistently spent a little bit less on that. So consistency pays off, and I'm so excited for you guys to take what I've shown you today and hopefully apply it. If you have any questions, obviously I am here. Either type your question in the comments or send me a message. I usually try to reply within a few hours if I'm not too busy or involved with something. But I hope that you all have a great week, and I will be here again next week. I promise to give you guys awesome value with my Monday morning motivation. If you've missed this week or you want to catch some other weeks previous, head to my website, pamreeb.com, and hit Monday morning motivation replays on the top of the menu, and you will see all 20 some go lives that I have done from February till now. Oh my God. And I'm so happy that I've been consistent with this, because I've had a fairly good following with this, and it's just building. So thank you so much for watching and for following me. I could not be more happy. Thank you, Patty, for tuning in live and watching the whole thing. I know I tend to ramble quite a bit, so I appreciate it very much. I will see you, like I said, next week, 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time here on this page. And if you'd like to get into my Facebook group, definitely shoot me a message or say Facebook group in the comments, and I will add you. Thank you so much. Have a great week. Bye.